Honorable members of Congress, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hermela. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address this distinguished panel. I stand before you today to bring attention to the tragic and ongoing genocide against the Amhara people in Ethiopia. It is a crisis driven by a flawed and perilous constitution that was established in 1995 under the TPLF, Tigray People's Liberation Front-led government. This constitution, rather than fostering unity and equal rights, has deepened ethnic divisions and facilitated ongoing genocidal violence directed at the Amhara ethnic group for almost 30 years now. Please allow me to bring your attention a deeply troubling demographic trend that serves as evidence of the genocide against the Amhara people. The second systemic census under the current Ethiopian system, conducted in 1994, showed that the population difference between the Amhara and Oromo ethnic groups was less than 1 million, with the Oromos only having a slight numerical advantage. However, just 13 years later, in the 2007 national census, the difference had widened to nearly 6 million. During this period, the Amhara population had experienced a shocking decline of 6.8%, while the Oromo population grew significantly. According to current estimates and projections, the population gap between the Oromo and Amhara communities could now be as much as 14 million. To put this into perspective, out of 195 countries in the world, 121 have populations of less than 14 million. The disappearance of 14 million people in just 3 decades is not a statistical anomaly. It is a clear indication of genocide. This alarming population decline cannot be explained by natural causes or migration patterns. What could possibly account for the systemic disappearance of millions of Amharas other than deliberate and systemic acts of violence, displacement, and targeted killings? The evidence is overwhelming. We are witnessing the systemic erasure of an entire ethnic group. Please allow me to guide you through some important aspects of the Constitution that have contributed to this unfortunate situation. The Ethiopian Constitution establishes the foundation for a federal system that has significant shortcomings related to ethnic division. It starts with the phrase, "We, the nations, nationalities, and peoples of Ethiopia," not citizens of Ethiopia. This seemingly straightforward phrase portrays Ethiopia not merely as a nation of citizens enjoying equal rights, but rather as a federation of unique ethnic groups, each possessing their own territorial claims. The country has become divided, pushing tens of millions of Amharas into a position of lesser status in areas where they have resided for generations. Additionally, the foundation of the Constitution emphasizes that our collective future can be best achieved by addressing past injustices and by enhancing our mutual interests. This statement, although it appears to advocate for fairness, has been understood and implemented in ways that have marginalized and even demonized the Amhara. The Amhara have frequently been falsely depicted as the beneficiaries of previous imperial and centralized administrations, resulting in a narrative that characterizes them as historical oppressors. This fake story has sparked ethnic animosity, fostering a climate where violence against the Amhara is not just accepted but rationalized as a means to address perceived past injustices. What we witnessed in the past 3 decades is a system that has marginalized and targeted Amharas in areas such as Oromia and Benishangul Gumuz, where they have placed displacement, mass murders, attacks, and violence for being perceived as outsiders in their own homeland. One of the most concerning aspects of this constitution is Article 39, which allows ethnic groups to pursue secession from Ethiopia. This article has emboldened ethno-nationalist movements that see violence, displacement, and forced assimilation as acceptable means of pursuing self-determination. The Amhara community has faced significant challenges due to the aspirations of these ethno-nationalist groups, especially from the Oromo Liberation Front, OLF, and the TPLF. In Oromia, Tigray, and other areas, there have been genocidal campaigns that targeted the Amhara communities. In Addis Ababa, the capital city where Amharas form a significant majority, the current government, led by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and his Oromo Prosperity Party, is engaged in efforts to remove Amharas and other ethnic groups in order to bring the city under Oromia's regional authority. This is an effort aimed at eliminating the Amhara presence and culture from the core of Ethiopia. The process of creating the 1995 Constitution was heavily influenced by ethno-nationalist groups, particularly the TPLF and OLF, while the interests of the Amhara were largely overlooked. Regional entities established by the Constitution like Oromia, Tigray, and the Southern Nations Nationalities and Peoples Region, SNNPR, were intended to focus on the needs of particular ethnic groups at the expense of the Amhara community. The Amhara community, even though they are one of the largest and historically significant role players, faced exclusion from important political and economic decisions, making them susceptible to the influence of a central government focused on fostering ethnic division and conflict. Honorable members of Congress, the Ethiopian Constitution is not just problematic. It serves as the catalyst of the ongoing genocide against the Amhara people. It has established a framework that encourages separation, conflict, and suspicion amongst communities. It has established a system of segregation against the Amhara people, forcing millions to become refugees within their own homeland. It has enabled a government to conduct a deliberate campaign of ethnic cleansing in many parts of the country, including in the capital city of Addis Ababa. Please consider taking action. While the ethnic-based constitution has long fueled division and sowed the seeds for ethnic strife, we do not have the luxury of focusing solely on constitutional reform. We face an urgent life or death situation. At this very moment, mass killings, arbitrary arrests, drone attacks, and the burning of churches are systemically targeting the Amhara people. Children are being killed every single day. Women are being raped every single day. I am a woman. I am a daughter. I am an American Ethiopian, born in the U.S. and raised in Ethiopia. Had I not been blessed enough to be in the comfort of my home in the United States of America, that could have been me. One of those women could have been me, or my mother, or my sister. My direct family could have been affected by this. My extended family is actually being affected by this currently, right now as we speak. These atrocities are not isolated incidents. They are the direct consequences of an ethnic federalist constitution that legitimizes attacks on Amharas. The constitution created an environment where ethnic groups are pitted against each other, and the Amhara are now facing the brunt of this brutal reality. However, our immediate priority cannot be focused on just the constitutional amendments or debates. As I speak, the Amhara people are being attacked under what amounts to a state mandate to erase their very existence. The violence being inflicted on them is so pervasive and severe that unless we stop the mass atrocities now, no meaningful reform will be possible. Reform can only come once the ongoing violence ends. Until then, we must concentrate our efforts on stopping the drones, halting the mass arrests, and ending the ethnic cleansing that is ravaging the Amhara people. I urge you to take immediate action to address this urgent crisis. The world is silent. Media, international media, is silent, is failing to report what's happening, is failing to report the atrocities. Without swift intervention, we will continue to witness the systemic erasure of an entire ethnic group. Let us not allow the flames of genocide to burn unchecked while we debate reform. Let us first save the people, then pursue justice. Thank you.
ኑርልኝ ብያለሁ
ሆኝ ብያለሁ
ሰንደቅ ዓላማው አድርጌዋለሁ
በዛው በሷ በባንዲራ
እንዳንገት ማተቤ አንድ ያንግሻታለሁ
አይሳንተየ